Somebody's calling my phone. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all
we were
good.
we were talking about, having coming from a place of pain, and you were saying something about what turning pain into something positive,
Yeah.
and then
You know,
also don't forget, someone did ask if there was a link for the pre-sale for the book. Do you have a pre-sale link? If you could put that in,
yes,
because
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's
I
just
would
somewhere where
appreciate
they can go to order. I didn't open it up for the pre-sales yet because we got a nice little surprise for everybody.
it.
So
Ooh,
I'll be autographing it as well. Not that y'all need my
ooh.
little chicken scratch, but if
Hey,
we're gonna do it, we might as well do it big, okay? We
doesn't
fickle
matter.
but not broken. We're gonna do it big.
Right. It doesn't matter. It's an
Yes,
autograph.
yes,
That's all
yes,
that
yes,
matters.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, when you think about it, us having this conversation, when you really think about it, a lot of the things that we're dealing with, it's everyday stuff. And for us, we call it sickle cell.
Hmm.
For somebody else, it's another illness. For somebody
Yeah.
else, it could be depression. For somebody else, so at the end of the day, what I've learned in life is it's not personal. You know,
Yeah.
it's it's principle, and and I mean that because I need you to understand a lot of things that happen to us. It's not even about us per se. And so when we take our sights off of our principles, or when we don't set up a good foundation and have principles, then we struggle. So I've learned not to take things personally, and I understand that it's principle. I have a set of principles, and so my friends, they have to fall in line with that. My relationships fall in line in that. The work that I do, be it a 9 to 5 job or entrepreneurship, which is what I'm doing now, everything is based on my principles. And so those principles come down to really it's family first. It's self care. It's self love. It's those are principles. And when you start to mess with my principles, then it's an issue. So even when I go to the hospital and I have doctors, or I'm in the ER, and I'm being looked upon as a drug addict because, listen, I come in the hospital, and for many of us, we know our bodies, we know our situation. Uh, don't don't waste your time giving me Toradol. Don't waste your time giving me morphine. Don't.
Right.
I'm trying to help you help me. So I come in the door, and when I'm in pain and I'm there, I'm like, listen, um, I need that dilaudid, and I need it
Mm-hmm.
now, and I need that
Yep.
now.
Yep.
We don't do that in the ER anymore because we're trying to weed out the addicts and weed out the frequent flyers and things of that nature. So when I go to the hospital, I, it's a lot because I'm laying there and they're quick to give me morphine, but I'm allergic to morphine. So my last crisis and my last real hospitalization was so bad. That was in February. I was in so much pain that I must have been out of my mind because they asked me, "Do you want morphine?" And I said, "Just give it to me." And I was fine. It didn't do anything for the pain. It helped me sleep for like 7 or 8 minutes, but it felt like an hour. But
Mm-hmm. Well,
by the
because you
time I
hadn't
got in my
slept.
room, right? But by the time I got up in my room, maybe like a couple hours later, that's when the side effects hit me. And I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know. I was literally, and I still have the scars. If I were to take off my jacket, I was literally itching so bad that I was peeling off my skin on my scalp, on my arms, on my chest. That's how bad I was bleeding, and I didn't even realize it. And so we're in a world where we constantly feel misunderstood, and we always feel like we need to defend ourselves or fight for ourselves. And so we take that energy, I know I take that energy into my relationship. It drives my wife crazy. I'm not your enemy. I, we're on the same team. Like, but for me, in my mind,
Yeah.
I've been in
Everybody
battle
else.
mode my whole life.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to turn that off. I'm always in battle mode. I'm always ready to go. And I had to learn and say, hey, listen, you don't always have to fight. You don't always have to push back. Some things you just got to sit back, examine the situation, and tell the nurse or tell the doctor or even your spouse, hey, listen, I know the rules and the regulations, so how soon am I going to get a bed upstairs? Because right now, you ask me my pain scale from a 1 to 10, I'm telling you I'm at a 12.
Right.
So I don't want to scream at the nurse. I don't want to be disrespectful because if you don't do something to help me, my pain is going to talk for me. So I need you to just work with me. And that's something that I had to learn. Because before I go to the hospital, I'm rocking, I'm crying, and I still get no attention. So now I'm to the point where, okay, well,
they don't care.
Let me start cussing. Maybe that'll help y'all move a little. Maybe that'll help y'all move a little bit. So now I start cussing. I start getting rude.
They get a reaction, though.
It's the pain. It's the pain talking, though. It's not even me. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm being discharged now, and my wife is thinking about it, and I'm literally thinking about it like, man, I need to get some cards to get to this staff because I know that first night I was a booger bear, you know. And so that's just the reality of what we deal with and pain points. And that's another thing that I'm big on. It's everybody has pain points, you know, but it's about going from pain point to point of power. And that's something that we can learn once we accept and start adjusting to our reality, you know. And really the reality is what you believe, because perception is reality for you, you know. So if I think they're out to get me, they don't understand, then that's exactly what I'm going to get in return. So I go in there and I Lord, I hope I get a good doctor. I hope I get somebody that understands, you know, and I go in there, and my wife already has a game plan. She's never left me in the hospital. She'll take her computer, she does IT, and she'll be in there. I'll be fussing, telling her to go home, or she's right there. She'll work through it.
Yeah.
Working my nerves, just like we said. Is the air too cold? Can we turn the air? Can we turn the air? And I'm laying down in pain. I'm like, baby, listen, air conditioning is the least of our worries right now. But just knowing that you have a good, but knowing you got a good support system, you know, knowing you got a good support system around you, because that's what helped get me through the hospital stay.
Oh yes.
Is knowing that my wife is a soldier, and before the Brooklyn comes out of me, and I remind you where I'm from and what I've been through, she reminds you of how College Park gets down. You know, she's like, yeah, I'm from College Park, Georgia. She's not from Atlanta. She's clear to let you know I'm from College Park. Don't play. So having that on your team, you can't lose.
Even though we're independent and we're like, oh, go home, like I still get the little tingles when I see them, and I still get happy when they bring me food, and after an hour I might kick them out. But God forbid, don't let them come. It's gonna be a fight in the house, But so
that's right.
You have that understanding. Like he knows that, okay, I'll go visit, but I can't stay too long because she's gonna have, the issue with it. And it's important. Like that's why I said I wanted to have you, because not only have you been married a long time, but you're also an advocate, you're also a mentor. And I think a lot of times people don't think about stuff like this, like the mental health that we talked about and like the relationship. So that is going to bring me to my next question, which I believe is my last. How do you as a family deal with society stigma? So for example, my daughter's not old enough, but let's say I have an older kid and she wants to have a sleepover, or she has this set of friends that come and sleep over. And if one of them goes and say, why is your mommy always laying down sick? Or, how come you guys never get to go anywhere? And, just dealing with people's judgment, or people looking into your household and saying, they don't do a lot, or he's at the hospital again. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you educate people around you and your children to be able to answer the question correctly for their friends, or how do you handle it with, neighbors, people in
Yeah.
society?
Well, it's crazy because you're interviewing me, but I got to be honest. My wife she gets all the credit. I'm gonna
She's
keep it
here.
100.
She's here next week. So for
I,
everybody listening,
she
she's
gets all
gonna
the
be
credit.
on next week.
She gets all the credit because she's taught my son so much. Our son, she's taught our son so much in the fact that she will literally tell him, your dad. You see your dad limping in the back, like we're walking, and she doesn't do it to make a scene, but she'll pull him to the side and say, "Did
Get
you
him to
check him to
notice.
see if he's okay? Why aren't you walking with your dad?" I mean, and when I tell you, she is amazing because if I'm half of a father, that half is because of her. In all honesty, that half is because of her. So when it comes to the house and things of that nature, she's quick to let people know. You know he's not doing all of that. Oh, we're not. Oh, we're not. He's not feeling well today. This might not be a good day. So she's my bad cop and she's my good cop, and she knows how to play that. She plays it well. Because most of the time when I'm in pain, I'm bad cop. I'm bad cop. Like, I'm not feeling well. You know what I'm dealing with. I shouldn't have to even explain it. Matter of fact, I'd rather not have to share it with anyone. So let's keep it funky. My big brother just jumped on. He just said, "What's going on, Will?" But it's serious. It's serious. So for me, it's about I don't do balance well. I don't do balance. So balancing my career, balancing my marriage, balancing parenting, it doesn't work for me. I'm 100% blinders on. So when it comes to the household stuff, I'm okay with taking the back seat. I'm okay with my wife taking control. Taking control. Because if I was going to do balance, I'm dropping glass. If I'm juggling, I'm dropping the ball. So I don't practice balance. Not even to get religious, because I don't. The Bible says God, he's a God of order, right? That's what it says, right? The universe is in perfect order. Everything is in perfect order. I honestly believe we spend too much time trying to balance things, and when we're balancing, we fall out of the will. So when you put things in order, you don't have to worry about balancing work time and family time. You got to put things in order. So I'm learning that because my wife is constantly reminding me, "Baby, you spent 12 hours doing this. I'm off work, the little man is home, and you're still going." So obviously balance doesn't work for me. So I have to remember order. I have to remember, hey, about 4 o'clock, I need to start shutting things down. I got to be present, and I can wait till everybody falls asleep. I think I sent you a deal last night. It had to be almost 3 in the morning when I sent that video. But that's my time though, and I don't have to worry about balance. Everything's in order, and so once we learn to function in that, so with the household stuff, I let her take the help, and we're honest, and she knows how I feel. She understands it, so she makes those decisions, and I'm okay with it.
I need to talk to her because my husband is not balanced either.
Yeah.
And I need to find a better approach to getting balance.
We're a difficult species. We're difficult. Men.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to her because, let me tell you, it's a struggle. That's why I say, y'all 10 years, I'm only 2. Like, I'm trying to get there.
We 10 years because my wife beats me. The physical abuse, it helps. It keeps me in line. I know she's ready to kill. She's ready to kill me right now, but she beats me. I'm abused, and it works for us.
You look abused.
It works for us. Yeah, it works for us.
Those bruises and the mark of you haven't eaten and locked in the closet.
If I pull this shirt off, y'all gonna be sick to see what she's done to me. How she handles me, y'all would be
We
sick.
we gonna be sick from her feeding you
Oh my
well,
goodness.
right? I
Oh my
trust
goodness.
her. Shit.
I
Mm-mm.
figure since it's an
Mm-mm.
intimate live, I might as well be honest. Since it's an intimate live, I'll be
Right.
honest.
So, you gotta be honest. But and it's from a female's perspective, you know, being that I hate to say it like this, but being that a woman is the homemaker, you take care of
Yeah.
the children, you take care of the household, you take care of the meals, you take care of the laundry, you take care of everything. It's a little hard for a woman sickle cell warrior. I think as far as men, it is
Yeah.
difficult because you are the provider. Like, you always feeling a sense of, I need to do more, I need to do more, and that tends to stress you guys out and cause you to
Yeah.
be in crisis. But for a
Right.
woman, our stress is, can I do this? Or at times I hear so many sickle cell moms that are sick, but they just have to keep going because they have to,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
children, or because my husband, I feel bad, I'm at home, like for me, my husband, I'm at home, he goes to work, and I take care of the home, but I've always worked since the age of 15, sometimes working
Right.
2 jobs. So it just didn't feel right to me. It just felt like I was useless. And then it would get to a point where I would be sick and I would be so miserable that, oh my God, like, I need to take care of my daughter. Like, I remember my last crisis, she still gets up in the middle of the night for milk. So I remember my
Wow.
last crisis, I was in so much pain that I had to literally crawl to her bed
Oh.
to, get her out the bed to give her milk. So for me, like, it's just always so scary that, oh my God, like, what if? So that's why I always feel like I have to be, with someone. Like, my husband is on the road, his job is on the road.
Right.
But I come and stay with my parents and my brother and everybody else because I don't want to be in the house alone. When it
Yeah.
was me, just me, it was fine. But
Right.
having this little girl, I feel like I have a sense of responsibility to her. So I'm always so sad when I can't take care of my family, if I have to go in the hospital and leave her, or if I'm not feeling well and she's crying, I'm looking at her like, give mommy a minute, just give me a minute, I'm getting up, just those feeling. And there was actually a young lady that, she's much older than me, and she has a teenage daughter, and right now her and her teenage daughter are not talking. And that's because the teenage daughter resents the mom for not being there.
Oh.
The daughter feels as if the mom was just making excuses, about her illness to go to the hospital because she didn't want to deal with the daughter.
Wow. Yeah.
And even though the mom was trying to explain, it turned into this whole big situation where they were just like, she didn't want to talk to her mom at all. But for me, I felt like it might have been the family dynamic. Did
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
conversate? Did you have the conversation with this child as
Yeah.
this child is
Yeah.
growing? And when you do have to go in the hospital, where was she? Was she just being put with anybody, or did she have a,
Yeah.
set
Yeah.
family member that she
Yeah.
goes to? So it's just a lot of things that at times it keeps me up at night thinking about it. Like, okay, I need to have a plan. If I'm sick, my husband's on the road, it'll take him this long to get home. Mom's at work from this time to this time, who's she going to go to? So I think more for us, that's the struggle, is taking care of your home, satisfying your husband, satisfying your children, and still making sure that you're good, and still making sure
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have the proper, time for yourself,
Yeah.
and as I said, I went through like a bad depression after I had my daughter because I felt like everything I used to do, I couldn't. Like, I didn't get dressed anymore. Like, I felt like my life was over.
Right.
I was that go-getter, that working woman. I always wanted to, work 3, 4 jobs and do my best. And now I feel completely hopeless. Like, I can't do anything. And it was very depressing for me. And like I said, I love my daughter and I would not take it back for anything.
That's
But
right.
it was
Yeah.
still, I had to get to that point where I found my, my purpose. I looked at my
Yeah.
principles and said, you know what? I'm home. I'm going to continue to do my advocate work. You know, I started
Yeah.
sewing and I started bedazzling and just picking up
Come on
hobbies
now.
just because, just to make myself feel
Right.
important, just to make myself feel good. Like when I used to work, I had money, I can travel, I buy whatever I want. And being at home is like, what are my skills? Like, what can I do? So I just started
Yeah.
picking up all kinds of things. So it's like you have to get to that point. And I know, as we said, a lot of chronic illness patients, we go through depression a lot.
Yeah.
But I want people to know and realize that as warriors, we've been through worse. Like, we just have to keep looking at ourselves that God, I always tell people, God wouldn't put you in a situation that he can see you through,
Yeah.
because he knew that you were strong. God knows that you were strong. God knows that you can handle this. This is why he gave this to us. And as I said, every warrior that I've met have been advocates. They've been
Yeah.
working hard. We're judges, we're lawyers,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
doctors, we're, med students, we're technicians, we're business owners. There's a young lady on YouTube that I love to follow, Lovely T. Like, she's got 800,000, she's been doing this for 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah.
amazing. I'm sorry. Like, we're
Well,
freaking
it's real.
amazing.
One of my clients is that I deal with one-on-one, that I work with. He's an attorney, and he's out in the UK. He's an attorney, sickle cell disease, and he struggled because of the stigma of work and being a lawyer and feeling, you have to be the first one there and the last one to leave.
Yes.
But you're battling an illness. You're battling something real, and sickle cell really is kind of like a silent disease because people really don't understand it.
Yeah.
And so for him, one of the things that we've been working on is kind of like what you were saying. It's trying to find that lane for yourself.
Yes.
And listen, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and then you have to remember, I'm a person. I'm also me. Like, I need me just as much as hubby needs me, just as much as baby needs me. And so we're pouring a lot of the time from a glass that's half empty or half full. And the reality of it is your cup needs to be running over. And Iyanla Vanzant said it best. And it's true, because my cup overflows, and what flows out of that cup is for everybody else. But what's in that cup is for me. And it took some time to get there and understand that we're trying to be everything to everyone and selling ourselves short. We have nothing left to show up for ourselves. So the fact that you found time to sew and bedazzle, and somebody else is looking at that like, but that ain't about anything. But the reality of it is, it's a huge accomplishment for us. It's big just to find something to do to nourish yourself.
Yep.
That is a superpower, And so I'm proud of you for that, because you think about this COVID, people coming out of COVID, when this thing finally ends, some of us are coming out with new skills. Some of us are coming out with careers.
Yep.
Some of us are coming out 20, 30 pounds heavier. Let's keep it real. I'm a big advocate on working out. I haven't worked out since March 1st, was the last time I hit the gym. I weigh the same, but everything is jiggling right now. I'm not going to lie. Everything is jiggling right now. I have no energy to work out, no energy to do anything.
Let me tell you.
At the end of the day, I survived. I'm going to print out the T-shirt and say, I survived COVID-19. Because a lot of us.
One.
Come on, you know what? Please give us the information. Can you give us the information?
yes, I have a shirt. I was actually gonna send you one. I was gonna ask you later, and I'll bring it to you.
Aww.
Okay, so it's a shirt, and it says it's got the sickle but not broken on the background, and then it
Yes.
says this warrior survived COVID-19, and then the other one says this warrior was quarantined to protect others or something. I'll send you the pictures, but I
Awesome.
was gonna send
Awesome.
you the one that said this warrior survived COVID-19. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. Yes, you did survive. You need
Yeah.
it. But
That's
the
it.
workout part, like this is real funny. I have to tell you, the kids are more excited about it than me.
Right.
Like I would turn
Right.
the TV on and say, "Okay, we're gonna work out." And then I will sit down and the kids will be working out.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
But, as you said, do something that's for you,
For you. For
whatever it
you.
is that you love to enjoy, do it. And a lot of people about to be mad at me for what I'm about to say, but I don't know how to sugarcoat stuff.
Come on
I'm
now.
going to say it. A lot of times in the sickle cell community, we don't support each other.
Oh.
And I have to say that the people that I do interact with, we've never had a conversation up until recently, but you always comment on my stuff. I always comment on your stuff. We always give
Yeah.
thumbs up, like,
Yeah.
and having that support, as I say, you're like my first follow. And I didn't even know, I think you had said one thing about sickle cell. I was like, oh my God, he had sickle cell,
Yeah.
so it was like, I didn't know. And even if my platform was a nonprofit, I will be trying to support and bring up other nonprofits.
Yeah.
This right here, the work of advocacy, spreading awareness, is not a competition. It's not a competition as to who does it better. We
Yeah.
really need to come together as a whole. And I think that's why we're still at the stage that we are, because we're not coming together as a whole. Every time I see any other sickle cell patient and they have a question, or I have issues with this, I'm like, oh, really? Go to this organization. They help with that. Or, go look at this person. They might be able to give you the resources that you need.
Right.
So I feel
Right.
like a lot of times we just need to support each other, and I get it. Like, we're a patient. Sometimes I just don't feel well. I don't want to log into live.
Yeah.
I don't talk.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I get that. But whenever you do feel well, whenever you do feel great, help, like, do something.
Yeah.
It's not about the name or whatever. It's just the advocacy work. Like, I remember when I first started, I actually wanted this to be a nonprofit organization. And then I went to one of the conferences here in North Carolina, one of our local conferences, and I'll never forget, I met Miss Gail, which ended up being like my adopted godmother. She has sickle cell as well. And she
Wow.
started talking to me about her nonprofit, which was Full of Hopes. And she was just talking, and I was like, my God, like, this is amazing. These are the things that we need in the sickle cell community. This is what I've always wanted to do. And I said,
Right.
you know what? I'm going to just keep this as an apparel and media, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to help you with your nonprofit, because it didn't matter whose name, who's doing, because I
That's
already
right.
know that it's only but so much that I can do. Even the same lady that we're talking about, I saw her dedicate her last moments to sickle cell. We were
Wow.
in the office and the doctor called that she needed to come in because her blood levels and everything was really low, and they were concerned. And she had a meeting for advocacy work that she was doing, and she wanted to do that. It was more important. She ended up going in a bad crisis on the way home in the hospital, from the hospital to a coma, to she's gone. She's not here anymore.
Man.
So learning from that, I've learned to pace myself. I've learned to
Yeah.
not go beyond my limit. I have learned that pleasing people is not what I'm trying to do in this world. And I've learned to, you know, take my time. You know, if Sickle But Not Broken never becomes a nonprofit, I'm okay with that, because there are so many other nonprofit that have done so many good that I will be willing to help. So I just want to plead to any, it doesn't even have to be sickle cell, any chronic illness warrior. We need to come together as a collective and work together. We all have great ideas, great ideas. But we need to support each other. That's the only way that people will get sickle cell. Like, people will understand what it is. You know, it's still sad that we hear people say, you go to a sickle cell clinic, it's like one little room, but you go to the cancer center, it's like, ooh, but our symptoms are similar. You know, we use the same medications, you know, so it's like, we're still not getting the recognition we need, and it's because we're not, I hate to say it, we're not working together as a collective, as a whole, and we need to start doing that. It's 2020, you know, think about how Black people came together for unity. Like, can we do that as warriors?
That's exactly what I was about to say. You know, the funny thing about it is there's strength in numbers. Definitely there's strength in numbers. But Black equity or equality, however you want to look at it, it's not going to happen until those who are not affected by the things that we're dealing with feel moved by the issues that affect our community. It's the same thing with sickle cell. There's so many people right now on this live that don't have sickle cell, but they know you, they know me. And so the reality of it is their voices are just as important, if not more important.
Oh, yes.
And so when we start working together, and that's the thing with advocacy, we're in a position where we can facilitate empowering others to help the load, you know?
Yeah.
And so if we do what we're doing, like moments like this, I mean, it's epic, because this is the beginning of the shift, you know, and I honestly believe that. You're the catalyst doing this right now and continuing this and having others on and sharing your story. I mean, it's going to make a world of a difference. And a lot of us get caught up in the numbers. We're looking at how many followers we have, how many people's on the, I know for me, I was paranoid. I was telling my wife, I said, the worst thing that can happen is me, Simbo, and you are on this live. That's to me, I'll be devastated. I'll be devastated. And I know, that was ego. That was ego talking, because the reality of it is this needs to happen, and people are going to be able to review this on your page and look it up in your stories. So,
and it'll also be on my YouTube if anybody wanted to, you know, be out there as well.
Yeah. And I'm learning from my sister, Kayreen at Spectacular Affairs. I pronounce her name Kayreen. I think it's correct. I don't even like the actual pronunciation of her name. Since we were kids, I decided to call her that, so I'm going to stick with it. So it's Corinne, I believe. Corinne. I can't even, because it doesn't matter. Her name is Kayreen to me. And so she showed me that pivoting is okay in this season. You know, she's an amazing designer and planner, and she had a thriving business doing parties, events, weddings, and COVID happened, and everything shut down. And what she decided to do was take this opportunity to share with the world what she does, invite her special guests and vendors that people don't have access to, and was able to turn that into conversations with Kareem. And I'm so proud of her for that pivot. And I have to be honest, when you reached out to me about this, I saw her blueprint. And I was like, oh my goodness, you are so on to something. There's no reason why we have to take this time as downtime. You know, because people are suffering still. People are struggling still. And they need a voice. They need to hear from you. They need to hear from me. And so we have to continue. And you're right, a lot of us don't really collaborate and network together. It's as if what I'm doing needs to win, as if you winning is going to stop me from winning, or I don't get it. At the end of the day, let's eradicate sickle cell. Let's get it off the face of the planet.
Yes.
This disease has been around way too long. And there is a cure. I believe it. Now, you and I, we might not, but the work that we're doing, that's the legacy. And so we might not eat off the tree that we planted. We might not be able to eat that fruit, but our children might. Our children's children might.
I have an epiphany, and I keep telling people this, that the person that's going to find the cure for sickle cell is going to be a sickle cell warrior. Mark my word. I might not be around when it happens, but Mark is going to be a sickle cell warrior.
I believe that.
Because I'm happy to see, like, my little cousin, he's also a sickle cell warrior, and he wants to go to school for medicine, actually hematology. So this is what I want to see. I want to see children growing up realizing that nothing can stop me.
Right.
You understand? Like, I can be whatever. Whether it's a doctor, lawyer, I can be that. Because a lot of times when I talk to certain people, they feel as if I don't have enough resources. The school is not going to let me miss this much time. I'm not going to be able to go to college. But you do have resources. There's disability laws that govern you being able to go to school and do those things. So as you said, this is why we need to have this conversation. Yeah. People need to know that you can be anything. I've got an undergrad, I've got a master's, I've got plenty of certification. I've done all kinds of jobs. I've thrown newspaper. Like, I won't even tell y'all the type of jobs that I've had that you would be like, aren't you, don't you have sickle cell? Yeah, I do. But with everything, you just have to know your limit. You have to know how you're protected when it comes to what you're trying to do. And I really do look forward to having more and more of this conversation. As I said, I have the 3-part series to this relationship. The next one is going to be 2 beautiful women that are married to, a young man with sickle cell, and they're going to be telling us how they deal with it. And then I also, 3rd part, I want to have someone that has nothing to kind of get their perspective of if you were ever approached and someone says, I have this, I have cancer, like, how would you approach it? What would you feel?
Right.
And we forgot to ask, did anyone have any questions? And thank you, everybody, for joining today. This has been amazing for our first one.
And I have to say that let me tell you what matters, why this is so special to me. There are people on this call who have had such an impact on my life. My wife, of course, is my big sister Marjorie was on here. I don't know if she's still there. My goddaughter and my niece Lisa's on here. I see Miss Mathieu on here. My big brother, I am Ash Cash. He's the reason this book is coming out in July. He opened up his heart to me. I purchased something from his site, so just supporting. And this brother, I don't ever have to have one-on-one time. These are people that we only speak on Instagram, but people like I Am Cash, Life Speaks Life, Father of Success. There's so many people. Spectacular Affairs, my big sister Farah. I mean, there's so many people on here that I'm literally standing on their shoulders, and it's because of them that I'm able to be here. And there's so many more that I want to shout out and call out. It's just too many that really understand what this is about. And it's a lot deeper than you having a platform and an organization selling T-shirts and doing other things. It's bigger than that, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's about awareness. And
Mhm.
and for me, it's legacy first. And so this is a brick
Yeah.
in your legacy. You know, this is a brick in your legacy. This is a brick in my legacy. And what we're doing right now, it might not even be for our gain. We're
Yeah.
working for it, but it might not be for our gain. But as long as we're making it easier for
Mhm.
those that are coming behind us,
Behind us.
then
Yeah.
we're successful. That baby girl of yours is getting she's getting a crash course, and she couldn't get that in Harvard, on resilience, on
Mhm.
endurance.
Very
You
true.
know, you got to understand that what you're doing just by example is amazing, is amazing. And so I'm proud of you for
Thank
even
you.
giving me this opportunity to say that I'm a mentor. I repeated it to my sister, and my sister said, "You ain't nobody mentor or nothing."
Yes,
Because,
he is.
that's big sis. That's big sis. That's what she does. And
Oh.
my wife was like, "All right, baby, I see what you're doing. Okay." And I love it because they keep me humble. Nothing will ever get to my head with the people that I got around me. So it don't matter if I see $1 million or if I just see $1. They're gonna make sure I'm humble, just for humble's sake. So, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about us doing this, because
Yes.
iron does sharpen iron. And so there's so much I've learned just from this conversation about you, about sickle cell, about our
Yes.
need to advocate for each other and for ourselves. This is amazing. This is amazing. And it's the start of a beautiful thing. And so I want to take this time to honor you and celebrate you, because
Oh.
this is a great work that you're doing. And I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Let me tell you, my stomach was in knots. But once you came on, I was like, whew.
You also, you're a natural at this. You're a natural at this. That's why you got to keep it going.
No, I'm not. Like, I am. You know what? The funny thing is, my family, my parents, all of them, they're like, oh, you be a good public speaker and da 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 da. And I'm like, that's because I talk to you guys. But like when I'm out in public and I have to talk, or even when I do my YouTube videos, I'm like, like I just get, I don't know what it is. Like I get nervous. But like if I'm just talking to you one on one,
yeah,
I can go on and on and
might
on,
be
and
my
you be
name.
like, yeah.
That might be my name. So don't worry about it. You're doing
So
great.
I'm just like,
You're doing great.
But I'm very, very glad. I am. And as I said, we'll talk more. We're gonna do more stuff. I'm very excited, and I want to say thank you again. Like you don't understand how much this means to me to have your support. Because as I said, you know, I haven't been on Instagram long, but you really were one of my followers. And sometimes people are like, oh, you shouldn't follow more people than you have followers. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. Like,
right.
If 1 or 2 people hear me, I'm good. Like, I don't care about you know, the dynamics of Instagram or whatever. I actually, for the longest, have just been on Facebook until someone was like, oh, you could probably get more message across with Instagram. And so I was like, okay, I'll do Instagram. But I'm not doing this for follows or to be popular, because if I wanted to be, I actually was sending a pilot to TLC. I wanted them to do a show called Sickle But Not Broken to follow in the life of sickle cell patient. But then I'm still going to do it, but not with me. Like I was going to do it with my family and a few friends that I know, but I'm just not really good with you know, like
we're gonna talk about that behind the scenes, because I'm not gonna let you sneak out the back door on that one. I'm not gonna let you out the back door.
We'll talk.
No, I'm not gonna let you out the back door. We'll talk in private. We're gonna keep housekeeping stuff. We'll keep the housekeeping stuff. Yeah, out for public. But yeah, you're not gonna get out the back door that easy. We're gonna talk about that.
But
But
make sure that you share the link with everyone
yes, yes,
for your book. I'm going to post it. I'm going to
yes,
post a video on my YouTube as well as your link for your book on the YouTube. So
yes. And
send it
do me
out.
a favor. Do me a favor. Share with everybody on here what you got going on, what you have to offer, and just do that real quick, because you giving me the floor for most of the conversation. I want you to just take this
Well,
time,
it was
honor
about you.
yourself. Honor yourself because you deserve it. Honor
Oh
yourself,
my
and right now,
goodness.
take these few minutes and talk your talk. Let the
Okay.
people know. Let the people know what Simbo has going on at Sickle But Not Broken. Go ahead.
All right. So let's see. So for Sickle But Not Broken, basically our work is advocacy work. My brother and I both have sickle cell. He has two kids, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old that have sickle cell. I have cousins that have sickle cell. We're a family from Nigeria.
Right.
All our children were born here, but my brother and my sister and myself are from Nigeria. So this is really important to us because my brother and myself and my parents have gone through so much. You know, my parents
Right.
never knew about the trait or sickle cell or any of that. But when it happened, we dealt with so much criticism and, you know, just society crap and just with, you know, people telling my mom that, you know, why are you spending so much money on this kid? They're going to die anyway. You're
Right.
never going to be able to reap their fruit or,
Right.
you know, with people telling their kids not to play with us because the minute they get attached, we're gonna die. You know, it's just like so
Yeah.
many things that we've been through with even family trying to get my dad to remarry and, you know, have other kids because we were gonna be completely useless. And
Wow.
I think from the pain or the agitation of that, our parents raised us to be warriors. You
Yeah.
know, my parents never handicapped me. When I was 15, my mom took me to the summer program and was like, "You're getting a job." You know, when I went to my mom and said, "Mom, I want to play sports," she said, "All right, you do know what's going to happen." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to." And she's like, "All right, we're playing sports." You know, when I got older and I wanted to go to college, I wanted to go out of state. And she's like, "Well, that's too far for me, but I'll work with you. You can go to Greensboro or Charlotte or, you know,
Right.
still
Right.
in North
You
Carolina."
gotta be a
So I'm
little
like,
close. You gotta be a little close.
right. She's like, "You know, but can't be too far. I need to be able to get to you." And just, I have to be grateful because everything in my life, she's never handicapped me. Even when I was pregnant, my mom was just like, "Okay, well, get
Oh
up,
well.
fix your plate, go get your food. When your daughter comes, you're on
Oh
your
well.
own," you know.
Right.
So I have to say that I'm grateful and I appreciate the fact that they never handicapped us. And I guess from a lot of that pain and just seeing other people not have the resources or not have the proper tool or them feeling like it's a black disease, we're all ghetto, we don't have an education, we don't know what we're talking about when we go to the hospital. From that, I decided to do Sickle But Not Broken, which, as I said, was going to be a nonprofit, but it ended up being just like a movement, a lifestyle, because I actually do help the nonprofit Full of Hopes, which I still want to continue to, you know,
Right.
work with them. But basically, I want to just use my platform to not only educate people, but for warriors to share their stories. You know, I want people to be able, yes, we all have, you know, similar SSSC, like our disease might be similar, but everyone's symptom is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different.
Right.
Everyone's family dynamic is different. So I just wanted to create, oh, do I have is that my mic? I'm sorry.
There
Someone
you go.
said lots of noise for one of your mics. I'm sorry. But you know, I just wanted to get to a place where people are able to feel comfortable to share their story. That maybe I actually initially started with YouTube, and I started with YouTube just to kind of share my story, share my struggles. I wanted to record while I'm in the emergency room so you can see the do's and the you know, the advantages and the disadvantages, the do's and the don'ts. And then I started doing story time. And then eventually I want to bring my brother on with the kids and, you know, just talk about different stories, our different struggle. But I don't want it to just be me. I want other people to be able to share their story. So, and that's why I said, if anybody has a YouTube, a nonprofit, whatever,
Right.
I will promote it. I don't have a problem with it because I'm not, even if we are doing the same thing, I'm still gonna support you and I'm still gonna promote you. Because at the end of the day, we all working towards the same goal. So basically that's all Sick but Not Broken is. It's just a way to show people that as warriors, no matter what we go through, we are never broken.
That's right.
I know so many warriors that have been through so much, and if you see them now, you're like, oh my gosh, how did you come out of this? Those are the stories that I want shared because I want everybody behind to realize that it's not the end of the world. Situation could always be worse, and you can always get out of this. You can always live with it.
That's right.
You can have kids, have the white picket fence. You can travel. There's nothing that you want to do that you can't do. So I just wanted to just use my outlet to help support other patients as well as spread awareness. Right. And so that's really, you know, I have.
We gonna support you. Everybody on here.
Yes, thank you guys. I see. I can't hear you.
Hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now. Yeah. So, you know, your follow's going to go up. You're going to have some supporters now.
Yay.
Plus, that's going to be adding to it. We're going to build this community and this tribe.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, I know everybody that's asking about the link. The link for the pre-order, I believe, should be up on Monday.
Okay.
So I'll be posting that, and trust me, it's coming. You guys be able to pre-order and get that out the way as well. So, but this isn't even it. It's a lot bigger than a book. It's a lot bigger than you know, our endeavors, our personal endeavors that we're trying to. This is really about people who have for a long time haven't had a voice, and I say that because not because they weren't speaking, but I don't know if it's because the voice wasn't respected, but that is changing, and that shift, and I believe it, that shift started today. Before I jump off, I just wanted to share something. Listen, everybody has a cross to bear. And I want you to understand, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, that is your cross to bear. And you are equipped in this season to carry your cross. You can't lose, regardless of your cross. You can't lose. You only lose when you stop carrying it and you climb on it and nail yourself to it. So I'm not nailed to sickle cell. I'm not nailed to pulmonary embolism disorder. I'm not nailed to rheumatoid arthritis. I'm not nailed to cervical spondylosis. I'm not nailed to any of those things. Those are just crosses that I have to bear. And I'm strong enough. You're strong enough to carry it and to carry it well. A lot of people laugh when they ask, yo, you have sickle cell disease? Oh, you must have the trait. No, I have the disease. You know, I get dressed up because I refuse to look like what I'm going through.
Yep.
You know, I speak the way I speak because I refuse for you to look at me as a victim. I don't care if I'm in a hospital bed. Yes. I'll post a picture of me with the IV and the tube and everything in bed because even in my bed, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, which is why I started the Advocacy Over Sympathy organization.
Yeah.
Listen,
I love that.
Let's not spend time feeling sorry for other people. Let's not spend time putting ourselves in a position to think that we're any better or that our situation is better. Be the change that you want to see. Let your compassion take flight. Let your compassion take action. And so that's what this is about. I want to encourage and inspire you guys to be the voice for somebody that you may feel isn't being heard or their issue isn't being met. So with that being said, I'm good. Simba, you have listen, I'm on cloud 9. I'm going to bed like a baby tonight. I'm gonna rock myself.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. I'm excited. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk off the the. But did anyone have a question? I'm sorry. I see a lot of people like yes, but I didn't see. I didn't see any questions. Did anyone have any questions before we jump off?
Y'all better get it, because Instagram, we not verified. Instagram gonna shut us down in about 3 minutes and
right. We got 3 minutes. Sorry. My bad. I like not being verified, so sorry. Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you will be back.
Yes.
I already have another topic in my head.
Come on now. I'm ready.
So thank you, everybody, and thank you so much. We'll talk about the shirt and everything else.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Right. You guys have a good day.
All right. Peace out, y'all. Take care. Be blessed.
Bye.
Okay, so Wexner set up, just so you know, nobody talks about this, but Whitney, before that first house, the house that Wexner gave to Jeffrey for $1, it's like the mansion that he raped all the children in. Before that house, there was another one. Yes, Wexner gave him that one, and that thing was incredible. That's where Annie actually met him. I brought her over there. But that house, that mansion then was later given to Ghislaine recently. She sold it to give it to, or the townhouse, whatever, and that's how she settled with Virginia. She sold that. Oh my God, that woman. And she also had an apartment she took me to. So then she shows me all this stuff on the mantle. She takes me to the mantle. I'd never been in this apartment. It's on the Upper East Side. It was like probably 3,000 square feet. Really nice apartment.